Your life journey begins when you're born as a baby, and then you start to develop into a toddler, and then you start to become more of a mature child, and then you start to after you start to mature more, you get put into a nursery or kindergarten, right, depending on where you're from. And then you start to get educated, right? You start to get information, starts to get put into your head by the teachers, right? At your nursery or kindergarten, again, depending on where you're from, right? And you start to learn things, right? And then you start to become a little bit more mature and older, right? You start to become more mature and older and stuff. And then you become more of a mature child and stuff. And then you get sent to a primary school or elementary school, right? Primary school or elementary school and stuff, or middle school as well, right? Depending on where you're from and stuff. And then the education gets more advanced. You start to get taught more things and stuff. The education starts to get more advanced, and you start to learn more things. Yeah, and then of course you keep getting primary school or primary school or elementary or middle school, keep getting mixed up. You get educated, then you get sent to a secondary or high school, right? Something that's a lot more advanced. Then you get more education given to you and stuff. Your head gets packed with more knowledge and stuff, and then you get sent to college or university, and then you get a job. And this is what most people do in their life, right? This is the trajectory that they usually go on and stuff. But this is kind of, it's kind of insane and scary a little bit that so many people have this as their kind of life goal, well, not really life goal, but what I mean. This is like the trajectory that most people are on, right? Nursery, kindergarten, and primary or elementary or middle school, right? And then secondary or high school. This is like what most people like go through and stuff. And then college, university, and then you get a job. This is kind of scary, man. And then you start earning money, and then you just get old and you die. This is like what most people do with their lives and stuff, right? But very few people do anything different, right? That's kind of scary. But so why? So so what? Right? Isn't this kind of like average? Isn't that kind of like average? It's kind of. Isn't that what should be happening and stuff? Nah, it's kind of, to me, it's kind of insane, right? This is like, you're born, right, as a baby, right? Then you start to become a toddler, right? You start to become more of a mature child. Then you get sent to a nursery or kindergarten, right? Then you pass through that, and then you get sent to primary school or elementary or middle school, right? And then you get sent to secondary or high school, and then you go to college or university. And then you get like put into a job, right? And then you start earning money, but it's kind of terrifying, right? And this is like what most people do with their lives, right? Very few of us kind of do anything more spectacular, anything more like more, I guess, more anything more I guess more amazing, right? We don't. A lot of us just kind of go through this simple. Like these simple stages in our lives, right? And then we just, then we earn money and stuff, and then we just get old and die. But what should you be doing with your life journey, right? You should, in my opinion, I believe that you should kind of start to definitely consider some type of a spiritual path, some sort of spiritual path, right? What do I mean by spiritual path, right? You have to find some type of religion, find yourself some type of religion that you kind of have some type of respect for, right? Something that can give you this kind of extra purpose and meaning in life, right? This is like what you should be doing, right? A lot of people, again, they go through their nursery school, kindergarten, whatever, then primary or elementary or middle school, yeah, and then secondary, high school, then college, university, and then they get a job, and that's it. They don't really prioritize anything else, right? They just kind of prioritize getting a high-paying job at the end of the day, and that's kind of a little bit shocking and scary, right? You should be wanting to do more, right? More with your life. Again, but alright, so what should you be doing with your life? Again, you should consider some sort of spiritual path, right? Find some religion that you have some great deal of respect for, right? Of course, there's so many different religions, right? So you would have to kind of do your own research. You'd have to do your own research. You'd have to study all of the different religions and stuff and find which one you like. You know, other than, you know, spirituality, what else? What else should you be prioritizing in your life? You know, it's kind of hard for me to kind of specify anything specific, right? You know, life goals. You need to kind of work towards something, right? Money, again, money shouldn't be your goal. Money is just like it's a means to an end, right? Isn't the end itself, right? You know, it shouldn't be the end itself, right? Money is just like something you use to get stuff done, right? And to get towards something more greater, right? You have to think about like what type of work are you really dedicated to? What makes you feel fulfilled? You know, Steve Jobs, right? Apple was his thing, right? He was dedicated to computers and stuff, and he spent his whole life trying to, you know, improve computers to kind of bring more innovation to that industry and stuff, right? Right? You know, like Steve Jobs, you got like someone like him. He dedicated his life to computers and right, to electronics and stuff like that. He was trying to improve that industry, right? But what about you, right? What about you? What is it? What would you kind of consider in your life, right? What would you like want to improve upon and stuff, right? That's something you would have to kind of think about. What would you like kind of want to improve in your life? Well, not really improve. I mean, you know, what would you want to work towards? Like, what specific goal? What would you want to kind of bring into the world? That's what you got to really think about, right? You know, again, Steve Jobs, right? He wanted to kind of improve the industry of computers and electronics, and so he created Apple, and you know, he created a bunch of these different innovations related to Apple, right? He kind of helped bring these these types of innovations into the world, right? You know, Apple, right? Computers and stuff like that. He really did kind of shape that industry, right? You know, other than Steve Jobs, you know, plenty of other great inventors and innovators did things, right? They had like something that they were working towards. They were interested in something, right? Likewise, you know, well, you know, some people would say that, oh, hobbies and interests, that could be like a waste of time, depending on like what it is, right? Because, you know, a lot of people like playing video games, right? You know, a lot of people like playing video games, but, you know, some people would argue that video games are a waste of time. So again, it depends on, it's a lot of subjectivity. I can't really specify anything. I can't tell you how to live your life. It's kind of, because, you know, I'm not you and stuff. We're coming from different places, right? And so, you know, in my opinion, you should definitely consider some spiritual path, something to do with spirituality, right? Consider some type of spiritual path, right? And then, you know, get some type of, you know, greater goal that you want to kind of dedicate your life to, right? You know, whatever that goal may be and stuff, right? Let's say you want to be some type of humanitarian person, right? Like, let's say Theresa May or someone. Well, I don't even know if I pronounced that name correctly. Someone like some humanitarian person. I don't know. I was pulling things from my brain and stuff. You know what I mean? Right? You want to be humanitarian, so you want to, you know, donate to charity. Maybe you can do that. You gotta think carefully about this, right? Do not waste your life, right? That's kind of the worst thing. Like when people, they just sit on their backsides. They don't really do anything. They just kind of, I don't know, make money and that's it. And then they just kind of spend their money on a bunch of different things that they like. You know, but that's kind of scary. Right? You want to do stuff that's meaningful. Right? Again, I guess it does kind of break down to meaning. Meaning is kind of like what you would. Yeah, look at this park, man. This is like the park I used to go to when I was a lot younger and littler and stuff with my parents and friends and stuff. But yeah, this is kind of besides the point. Yeah, meaning is kind of very important. You would have to kind of consider something meaningful in your life, right? And spirituality. I already brought this up, right? What spiritual path would you want to consider taking, right? The Abrahamic religions, right? They can offer you something meaningful. You would have to consider like.